Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt, and I do a weekly television show called Team Chicago Challenge. My website is teamchicago.tv. Teamchicago.tv. We're at Grattan Raceway. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you some of the action from the Road Race School and let you know about racing motorcycles. Grattan Raceway, one of the most beautiful facilities in the country. And I'm going to show you some of the action next 10 minutes. And remember the website, teamchicago.tv, and don't forget GrattanRaceway.com, GrattanRacewayMX.com, because I'm going to come back later in the year. We're going to check out the motocross track up here at Grattan Raceway. But don't forget teamchicago.tv. We start out the day with a track walk. Let's join Group 1 with Eric Konigsberg as he tells the riders about going over the hump and into turn 5.
Just by turn. So you don't need as much brake as you think. We're to the outside. We're looking to the very inside of that next corner. You hit this one right, the rest of this track goes real smooth for your next 4 corners. If you don't hit it smooth, you're way outside, then you're recorrecting, you're on to the inside, now you're trying to recorrect and get the outside. Smooth, outside, middle, back to the center of that next one. A nice easy flow. When you do it right, you're right. You'll know it. It's going to be just a consistent. I don't change a gear after I come out of here. I'm in 3rd or 4th gear. Just turn, 4 corner. You're around the corner and carrying. So this is important. Do everything before or after, not over the top. We're through the corner and smooth. Smooth is everything here.
As we see a couple of swans on the frozen lake, hey, when do we get a refund from all this money we're paying for global warming? But we see Becky Baker with Group 4 giving them some hints on riding Grattan Raceway. Let's head to the classroom with Jeff Morrow, Dave Jackson, Bruce Blake, Dan Durham, and Phil Young.
Use as much of the track as we want, right? So if you can make a bigger arc out of a corner, right? You still got the same corner, but if you can make a bigger arc out of it, you can carry more speed, right? It means you're on the brakes less, you're on the gas more. It just makes sense. But what he's doing here, coming down the straightaway, we roll off the throttle, we get on the brakes, we get off the brakes, and then we make our corner. 3 things you should be doing in the corner. It's turn, 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 right? So I don't want to see anybody braking after they start their turn, stuff like that, because that's when your bike wants to stand up and go straight, right?
This could mean from the turtles that we have to the geese to, I mean, anything. So if you see this and they're pointing, kind of pay attention, because usually we'll point to where it's at, because it could be a turtle or something like that. We even got the little Geico squirrels out here that like to run in between the bikes and everything. So if you see them point, just kind of see where they're pointing at, because it could be an animal and that thing could go, who knows where they're going to go or what they're going to do. We have a thing called a debris flag wave off. If we have, say we have something hanging on your bike or something that's leaking or something like that, and you see us pointing this flag at you, and we'll tell you to get off the track, we want you to pull into the grass as soon and as safe as possible. So say you're leaking and you don't know it, and they're pointing at you to tell you to get off the track. The quicker you get off, the quicker we can have it cleaned up and get back started.
Have your buddy take that same dimension again. That's called rider or race sag. You take that and deduct that from young lady. That's the amount of sag in the front end that's carrying the load. The static is how much the bike is being carried. Then you put you and the rest of your gear. If it's a road bike, you load the bags up and take the second one. Not the first one, but the second one. And then you figure out what that is. And what we would like to see is about 30% of the travel in the suspension. So if you have a 6-inch travel front end, you'd like to see this thing down about 2 inches in the front, all right? On the rear, we want to take the 2 nuts at the top and loosen them up so we can adjust the preload. If you have a shock with a knob that you can adjust the preload, do the same thing. Adjust the preload until you get a static sag. And if it's a road bike and you got your gear, this is where you want to do it without anything in the bags. All right, anything is permanently mounted on, leave it. But and then what you want to do, like for road racing, you want to have either a 0 to a 10 millimeter sag in static, And that's where you adjust the nut, or you adjust your hydraulic preload to get to there. And a road, you want 10 to 15 millimeters, all right?
2-minute board comes out. You're stopped on the hot pit lane. You're not going out on the racetrack. 1-minute board comes out. Everybody on the racetrack in the first wave puts their bike in gear, gets ready to go. 1-minute board will go sideways. 1 to 5 seconds later, you're going to see a green flag. First wave takes off. 1-minute board will go back up to vertical. Then it'll go sideways again, and then the second wave is off. Then third, etc. While the first wave, and at the first time the 1-minute board comes up and the first wave gets ready to go, everyone in the second wave should have their clutch hand in the air so that they can't jump the start.
Drilling out bolts, that's one of the things that we like to do when we prep a bike. You want to be careful with it. There's a couple of tricks to do. Get yourself a whole big package of small little drill bits, and what you're going to do is practice. Use some oil that you want to do to keep those lubricated. Tap a little dimple into the bolt first so that the drill bit doesn't wander off. And make sure when you do this, just gently let the drill bit do the work. If you try pushing it, it's going to break off, and once that drill bit's stuck in there, you're going to want to start with a new bolt. And when it's just about ready to pop out the backside, take the pressure off that drill bit, because that's when it grabs the last second and it tends to break that drill bit. But again, chuck up some bolts, practice drilling safety wire holes in bolts. They also talk about a positive safety and a negative safety. And the idea is the safety wire, we all know the rule of righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. To the right generally tightens the bolt, unless it's a left-handed thread, of course. And the idea is, you can see this on the safety wire, it's trying to essentially pull the bolt, righty-tighty.
Thank you, gentlemen. What great instructors. And now we're looking at group 3. We got one instructor following his student through the corners and back in the pits. Let's hear what the students have to say about the Grattan Raceway Team Chicago Road Race School.
And we're having a great time. My daughter's here learning how to race super bikes, and the instructors here are A1. I'm having a great time. And
this is my first time out, and it was a great time. Learned a lot. Instructors are great. It's going really well.
This is by far my favorite place to be, track-wise.
I heard about the school through the internet. This is my instructor, Tristan. He's been amazing, and the school's been a great experience.
What to do, and I can just re-up my skills and just learn and have fun. So it's a great time. Thank you very much.
My first year out here, having a blast, trying not to crash.
And the person you saw right over here is Chad, my instructor. What a fabulous job this has been. This is my first day out here. It's been wonderful. The lessons, the learning, the track time has been perfect.
And now let's take a lap on Grattan Raceway, 2-mile road course, 15 miles northeast of Grand Rapids, Michigan. We're heading down this front straightaway, 3,000 feet. Make 2 to 3 to 4 downshifts. Turn into turn 1. I am following some students in group 1 as we pick up the pace. Turn 1 is a fast right hand. You get back on the gas very hard. Look for this notch on the outside. Turn in. Make a sweeping arc, another fast corner, back on the gas. Work your way to the right side of the track to turn in for this left hand off camber, downhill. Stay as close to the inside as the track as possible. That will lead you to the very fast turn 4. Get on the gas as you head towards the Grattan hump. Get over the hump, a downshift or 2, into the S's, right hand, left hand, right hand, stay on the inside. That will lead you over to the famous Grattan Bowl. Drop down to the inside, get back on the gas, hit the middle of the track, sweep down on the inside here. You can let the bike drift a little bit wide. Look out for the 2 dips out wide in the back 40, 2 dog legs to the right. That takes you into the hairpin. The slowest corner on the track that takes you to the uphill. Straighten this out. When you're on halfway up the face, get back on the gas, right, left, onto the front straightaway. Don't forget GrattanRaceway.com, Grattan Raceway MX, TeamChicago.tv, Walk with Dan. See you next year at Grattan Raceway.